Great and beautiful morning, afternoon, and evening to you, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 219 edition of Investdata Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. I will tell you that the market across the globe remains choppy. When I mean choppy, we can see that the trend of the whole thing is still very, very mixed as we speak. As investor, I with the next no significant move as regard the expected minutes from the Fed, and at the same time, we're seeing that the inflation data that came from Germany also look up in that eurozone, knowing that Germany is the strongest economy or the largest economy in that zone. But I'll tell you that market this morning is mixed, as I said earlier. We're seeing that the US market is in green, while Europe market open lower, and the Asia market remain mixed, but with more indicators or more indices on the green. Africa remain also mixed as we speak, extending the trend of yesterday in Africa market. But I will tell you that investors at this point in the matured market are digesting this expected minutes of the Fed. And at the same time, don't forget that because of the last inflation data that was released early last week, as showing that inflation in that zone has also looked up. Expected that aggressive nature of in the Fed or the central banks across the globe, we are seeing inflation eating up in most of the result the data released so far. That will trigger another round of aggressiveness. But we are all seeing, waiting to see what the Fed will do today because investors are already waiting. That's why seeing that the market in US in green says that they are looking at some industry and sectors where they can still take advantage of any season because across the globe this is a period of earnings, and as they coming, investors are looking at where are the safe havens that funds are likely to flow to dominate the financial market. This is what is happening now. Yes, we are seeing also escalating geopolitical tension or having impact on the yesterday market in US. But this morning it's like there's a breathe out, but let's also have a way of also influencing activities going to the future. But I believe that the world leaders are not sleeping, but I think it's time for them to make move forward for peace, and that also give the global economic direction. But if we continue in this way of allowing this escalation we're seeing in that Ukraine and Russia war, it might also take us back again to the trend that we're able to survive the last 1 year. This war started. But if nothing is done at this time by the leaders, whether the G7 and all leaders, across the globe coming together to make sure that they way in for peace, I think that will not be so good for the global economy if rate hike continue. If rate hike continue in this year on the strength of this war, because I tell you, when this war will escalate, and also we'll see another discussion in supply of oil. We see that oil price that remain above below 90, even above 80 since all this day. But last week we saw that oil was down by almost 4%. For this week, still not, but I feel like it oscillating around the 83 $83.28 dollar per barrel. But you can see that despite the US president saying that yes, that the demand for oil will long as high as a decade again. But I tell you that China also is looking at how to have a straight deal with Iraq in terms of oil deal, the project they are on. These are the things that are going to drive oil. And also down here in Nigeria, I think our own output, our production has improved, which I know that going to the future will also benefiting from this windfall in the oil sector as a price remain above $80, that will be plus. But if all the projection was seen around 100, if we go back there, that will be a plus for Nigeria if we're able to sustain this 1.8 and above million barrel a day production a day. That means it's going to reflect on our what on our reserve, on our external reserve, which is very good at the end of the day to help support the run of our supporting our currency here. For me, I believe that investors actually are looking at all this before they can make what informed decision. But for me, investors should not just panic, but rather invest wisely. Down here, elections around the corner, and I think it's less than 2 days now, 3 days to the election. But I'll tell you that the continued wave of full of funds from the fixed income space to equity now has sustained the equity momentum. Yes, also we're seeing a lot of activity in that market. That's why the volume is relatively low but above average. It tells you that there are still position taking in this equity space just because of what timing. Like I said there that time and price is very, very important. Rate and time, yield and time is also very, very important in the market. And this will support the market even there is an election around the corner. And I tell you that after the election, once we get it right, whoever that comes as leader we expect to see what. Yes, there might be little pullback. That pullback also create opportunity for those income investors that are targeting those dividend paying companies, to position more. I believe that once we are seeing this fund flowing, also don't forget that today is another option day for trading, and we believe that in the last five life street five option, we're seeing yield and rate declining. Now, if we continue today, but don't forget that this what we are saying is just temporary, because I believe that as far that we're having a deficit budget and in Nigeria here, especially for 2023, and government to find way of funding it. For years, they are still having over subscription, even at this low level. But I believe that with time, there must be a reversal. That also will start leaving fund. But it depends. But don't forget that there are two sides of the coin. The fund won't look like the two market cannot be up at the same time. One will be up and down. For now that we're seeing that fixed income is a bit down, we are seeing activities what in equity market. But don't wait only the word fund will be flowing in and out of this board. As investors or smart traders, as in this class, intelligent investor, you take advantage of what we are seeing now to create wealth, and when it comes to that also to balance your portfolio, to target those companies that also are likely to see better earnings going to the future that will support them. I tell you, there's always where to move to when it comes to what equity investment. Though the time and the season will always guide you what to do by time. That's why you must be able to combine your fundamental, technical, and all and sentiment at all times to know the next move to make when it comes to what investing decision. For me, all eyes are what on this election. Once we get it right, things will turn around for Nigeria. As I said earlier, that the Fed minutes, preview for all policy, all the investors and policy makers or the decision makers in different sector of the economy are looking to see what it looks like so that it also guide the world in taking their action. But I tell you that as earlier that Asia market is also miss. But I think remember that I told you that most of this this market there are green. But with this rebound in Germany inflation, we expect that even ECB and and Fed and also even Asia Bank, the Reserve Bank of Switzerland and all of them are likely to adjust rate up by either 50 basis points or what. These are the things that all eyes are on to check where they can flow and where they can move on. I believe that this, at the end of the day, will shape the market. But nevertheless, in all this, there are always opportunity. Volatility creates room for you to buy low and sell high. Once you're able to know how to invest with that, you are good to go in the market. And that is why, as an investor, always keep your eyes in the market. Yesterday, we saw another notification from Covey Business Solution about another mandatory takeover again. Yes, they've gone to SEC have approved according to the notification about 48 kobo per share for that, about 39% the holding will be on. For me, investor in this market, I think we should also become more wise and see what we can do. Let's know how to invest in this company that we know that are more stable, and we know that the shareholding structure are still intact and we're seeing activity. But the way I think there is a time SEC and other regulators should come in, because the way the company are going to mandatory takeover. Yes, what also happened in Union Bank, well, they're not listed, but I'll tell you the probability that they're going to list is very high. But after buying the minority shareholder off from there with the mandatory takeover, we saw this one that of international energy that moved the price today because of what? Because of another mandatory takeover again at 1 naira 60 kobo. That's that one affected, but this one already the mandatory takeover is around 48 kobo. Can see that no room for this stock to move. I mean, if investors in this stock are likely to sell, this is the time for them to like to sell, but they want to wait. But I believe that if they have price by the price in the market and know what to do at this time, since they are approved by SEC. But I think this is the time also SEC to come and give the investing public clear clarification on this mandatory takeover and mandatory tender. What is different? Because if a company has about 61 or 67% of the company, I want to buy off for the is it company that must is it because if yes, it's not company that you must sell your own to them, you might also put them to go out for the exchange, because from indication now, this company has said as they are buying off the manufacturer, they are delisting. And that is one thing that we're also seeing hearing for what from Adova again. Adova tends to also do the same thing, take over, buy off the manufacturer and also delist. And also we're seeing that the one is also coming from the window, not from the door, to also to propose for delisting. If we're seeing stock a company on this thing going in this way, what is SEC doing also to support or not, or to attract more, or NSA doing to attract more company on this? Because I tell you, if we're encouraging Nigerians to come and invest, it is the higher the number of company on exchange, the more the merit and the more no opportunity for an alternative for people to know where to put their money. Not only few listed company, you can see the entrance of no Wasman, entrance of Gidegu Power, entrance of no all these new companies to the exchange. You can see how they have impacted the exchange in these recent years. I think that need what NLSEC should do more and NSE to attract more companies to the exchange. But the way they are living, I think it's not too good for the market. That is for that. But as we speak now, we want to look at no, yesterday we were discussing about the potential merger, the business activity of this economies, how it has impact. But I'll tell you, looking back here, I want to bring out, an Excel, an Excel table we want to look at. Look at an Excel table here. If you can see what is here from there, I think it's clear enough. Yesterday, I was discussing about the purchasing manager index, for some selected matured economy. And now, yesterday, we were able to discuss Nigeria. We have added Nigeria data this morning so that we can look at it as we're looking forward to see our GDP for the last quarter 2022. And also, the impact we're expected to see this rate hike and this cash crunch, the impact will be on what on the first quarter GDP. But so far, what I've seen, business activities is it expanding or declining in the recent month? Because I tell you, the private sector or business activities has a way of impacting the whole of thing. I tell you that yesterday that there are three major things that you need to know where the economy is, the state of the economy, or the phase the economy is. Also, as well, different phase in the equity market, the market generally for economy. Said yesterday, we have what we call early expansion, mid expansion and late expansion, early contraction and late contraction. And this is driven by what three major factors which I mentioned yesterday again: interest, inflation, and what and the output, industrial output or national output. Why for the market is that we have also four stages of the market: the markup phase, the accumulation phase, the markup phase, the distribution, and the decline. These are the phase of the market. Where is the market today now, and where the economy is? You need to balance it to see exactly if the economy moving in the direction with the market is very, very important. As we're expecting to see the earning season, are we going to see also a better number going to the future from what is happening in Nigeria today? Or will by after the election, we want to see a change in the whole thing and things are improving? What are we doing? It's very, very key. No. But before we go into that, I want to quickly tell you the figures. I think yesterday I was reading it, we didn't get to see those figures. You can see that the business environment, the composite purchasing manager index that tell you, the global activities of business, how business activities in this domain has happened in all this period, so that you can have an idea what is expected, especially if we go back to another rate hike. What is the danger of it for those matured economy? What is the danger for it for us here in Nigeria? Yes, we see that for CBN here or NPC here to manage inflation, it's not only by interest, and that is why all this move of the return of naira is coming in and expected also to shape the monetary policy to make impact on the economy. All these are what we expect to see at this period in the economy. But how far it will go is very, very important for us to know, because we need it to know exactly what we are doing at this time. Once we notice it, that also have to guide us exactly what we are doing at this particular time, because it has a way of having influence on what we are doing as an investor. Yes, good to go. Here you can look at the figures here. Let's explain them. If you look at the February when this Ukraine and Russia war started, you can see that a lot of activities has happened within that 1 year. You can imagine what has happened for this period of 1 year. These are the things also you want to also look at when it comes to what investment. If you look at the February that year 2022, I see that US economy is very, very strong. We have a 55.9. And don't forget that here I put that expansion. Any company, any economy that their what we call position manager is above 50, it tells you that the economy is strong, then it's also expanding. But anything below 50, the economy is contracting. At the same time, it's also a sign of what weakness. And don't forget, once you have a 2 GDP, or two quarter, that also confirm what recession or whatever I call it. But here you can see that for US for the month of February 2022, so that the policy manager PMI was 55, for March was 57, for April was 50. You can see that it was coming down immediately. Rate hike started coming. You can see that it also started shrinking the economy. You can see all the way from the month of June 2020, July 2022, where it came down under 50. That's also a contraction can also run till what till the end of the year. Even January this year, you can see that also it was still contract. Despite there was improvement from the previous month of December 2022 to what to 46. You can see it for yourself on this slide. Also in UK, you can see that also UK had about 58.9 in that February when the war broke out. It moved up to 60 in March, but then it starts slowing down. Let it start slowing down. You can see that all this war was just in. Despite here that it didn't up for by 6 basic points. You can see that it started slowing down all this way before it also turned red. And I mean red, it turned what become a contraction state below. It was all this below what below 50. What I'm saying is that you need to see that the difference between this one and what we're having here in our own economy. It shows you what to do as investor. How all these policies we're seeing has that impacted the private sector and the general economy. If you come to eurozone, I know what I mean. All those zone, what is happening there? You can see that investors are looking at here for the month of February. We're seeing 55.5. We can see 54, 55, 54. This above, but at the end of June, I think that it started coming down 49, 0.9, 48, 48.1, 47, 47.3. You can see it, all this one going to go down. But for Eurozone, you can see that in the first month of the year, we saw there's improvement. Let's say there's improvement from the month of October last year for Eurozone, 47.3 to 47.8 to 49.3. Now for the last month of January, we're seeing a 50.9. This come back to what expansion. That's why I told you that activities in China has also started impacting that. We can see expansion in Germany, who being the major country of the center in that zone. I see that it has come up. I can see it here for that zone. But in all the look at Japan. Japan, in that year, in that 2022 February, you can see Japan was still struggling below the 50, but crossed in March to that 50, 50 and sustained that and remain above 50 expansion. But in August, it came down, also rebounded in September. You can see that, but in November and December, it was almost below, but in January, it rebounded. And these are the signs that we saw in January that say that fear of recession has started coming down globally, because we are seeing a lot of countries across the board seem to see that their first quarter productivity, business activity has improved for the month of for January. But here down in Nigeria, here is where you and I are seriously concerned. Look at the figure that came from Market. It tells you that despite we have experienced like a move to recession in this last 8 years, but I'll tell you from February that this breakout, in Ukraine today, our economy has remained a bit stable and strong because it has remained above 50. It tells you that even the rate hike from the month of May didn't affect much, but we can see the impact, but not as much because the economy continued to oscillate. This month it's slightly down, up increasing because of what how investors also taking the interest rate hike. But look at before the interest rate hike, I can see that in the February 2022, our project manager was high, 57 point. I would tell you that is the highest for that year, even to date, for the date that have been the highest. You can see that after that, it slowed down in the month of March to 54, to also bounce back again in April to 55 points. Then also, in May, that same 2022, we saw 53.9. That's a slowdown. So for that, now when don't forget that in May 2022, that is where the first hike started by 150 basis points. So a slowdown in that from 53 to 50. But in the month of July, it rebounded to 53.2, came down again to 52.3, and 53.7 in September. In October, November, December, you can see that our activities improve. Like I will tell you that the last quarter of the year, is where you want to look at activities in terms of productivity, everything change and business increase. Despite the rate hike all this while, but in this last quarter of the year down here in Nigeria, you can see that our economic activities improve from despite slowing down from for September, but for the last week, you can see improvement from 53.6 to 54.3 and 54.6, and for January was also 53.5 when it slowed down for the first time. What happened, but I'll tell you for the last quarter, for this or the beginning of another quarter, already we're in February expecting. You can see how this data got. That means on the strength of this last quarter, that's why you have seen the earnings that came from the market, looking good, for impressive. And this has given us indication that our last quarter GDP, yes, might not see a geometrical or substantial growth, but I'll tell you to remain in positive, but still in green for that. And if you inch up again higher than what we saw in Q3, that will be better. But that is likely because we have seen improved activities here, despite all the challenges in the high rate. Even in November, but 100 basis point activities still also remain up. Tells you that investors should look at this, because this is what will guide you to make a what informed investment decision when you want to take your decision. Yes, back to our position here. Yes, before we go to the market to look at what the market is doing live now, we need to look at exactly the state of our market. Where are we, and what is the market doing right now? Once we get it right, then let's look at the figure. I told you earlier that the African market is mixed, and we're expecting to see that our market maintain that position this morning. I want to look at it now to see what our market is doing. Our market is green. It's open green, but it has sustained from that hour to this hour. We want to look at what the market is doing right now, but that will also guide us exactly to know what to do as investor. If the market remain in green, like I said, that in one of the class, or on the program, not the three program, that the high capital have not moved, and when they start moving, will sustain this trend. And knowing that we're at the peak of any season, and also there's a kind of a lower yield in the fixed income market, we expect funds to start moving the way of this market, and that is what we're seeing now. It is not a deviation for that, because this connection between the last MPR of 17.5, and seeing a rate going below, even for bond below 14%, and for treasury bill as low as 2.24. That also make fund to move towards equity space, because let's do that at risk avert. I don't want to take, and also for those big smart money, especially the banks that also want to invest in treasury bill, no matter how low it is. Those are the ones patronizing that investment opportunity. But as we speak now, the NGS is trading at 54,303.59. That is, the index is up by 114.1.28, representing 0.1.2% up in the green, which is good. And the market is very, very, the market is strong, because we're having a positive market breadth as we speak. We're having 9 gainers and just 9 gainers and 7 losers as we speak now. And among the losers now, I want to look at the top losers so that you will know exactly the one. We are seeing that MC Nicholas is leading the decliner with a 9.8 down, trading around 55 kobo as we speak now, followed by followed by Charms, Then we can see Honeywell on that chart, also Mutual Benefit and Fidelity also on that chart. These are the out of the 7 losers. These are the top 5 as we speak now. Also, look at the gainers. I told you there are 9 gainers, led by what? By Geregu. Geregu has been 246.40, almost 10% up after 125 million share crossed yesterday. A negotiated deal at 100 naira that was crossed yesterday. Tells you that this stock, there's something good. But if you look at the fundamental of this stock, I'll tell you, it's kind of what we are seeing. The moment we are seeing is kind of a disconnect from the figure that support this. But that's why, as an investor, I have to be very careful. Yes, this company are looking back to what they have in their reserve to pay dividends of 8 naira. But at the price is going, what are you going on? Even the dividend at this price, what is it to you? Is it that you are waiting for it to pull back? For those that are in this stock that have entered earlier, even at 100 naira, I think you're made more than almost 100%. Getting to, for me, it's the time for you to start taking profit on this stock, and to start seeing figure that will support this price. But we know that there are some personality behind some stocks, that it doesn't depend on the performance of the company for price to move. In such company, if you are investing there, you have to also be very, very careful as an investor. Also, we are seeing that the Corvi that I just explained to you about, it's trading around 48 kobo, up by about 2.1%. I told you this company is planning to delist, and also there's mandatory takeover. For me, if mandatory takeover is around 48 kobo, what is the position of you buying this time? For those that are there, are waiting for them to fall. Investors have to also be very careful of what to do with this kind of stuff. We're also seeing Living Trust Mortgage Bank up this morning, trading around 2.69%, up by 1.5% as we speak. We see FCMB also coming back to 4 naira 35 kobo, and 1.2% up. I see potential in this kind of stock, because where industry wage, and also the number emerging from this company. It's also Wasila Sako there among the gainers, 1 naira 3 kobo up as we speak now. These are the top 5 for the among the 2.9 gainers so far in the market. Then you look at the activities, which is the volume, in terms of volume. As we speak now, you know, GT code has dominated in volume all this while. You can see also that this morning is also leading with with 8.45 million shares trading at what at 25 naira 5 kobo as we speak now, followed by Codvi. Codvi is also doing 8.37 million shares trading at what at 48 kobo. Zenith Bank trading at 5 naira 25 naira 10 kobo at 5.2 million share trading so far for what for Zenith Bank. While Transcorp also trading at 1 naira 20 kobo, 3.75 million share traded so far. And the last one here, top the top 5 is Mutual Benefit at 33 kobo, trading at 2.92 million shares so far. This is the state of the market. But we'll quickly go to work, go to the chart to look at what is happening in this market and what we should do as investors. They are giving information what to do for me. There's no cost for alarm. All the earnings we're expecting that's what to support a payout, a higher payout, and that will be at this election season. Once we on Saturday after going to the pool, the next thing is that by Monday start seeing more number. But we expect to see some figure between now and Friday, some earnings from some companies. But as they will after the election, we'll see more of that. That will give the market direction. Also, we expect to see the outcome of the another NTB primary market option today, holding today. Once you come out, that will also tell you what the market will look like at the end of the day. But as we speak now, the market, if you look at the chart here, our chart has maintained what we call a copper handle pattern, or we call it a V shape. But because of this one, when I see copper handle, I see what you can see it here. But if you look at the trend, market is also on the green. This is how we can see the market is copper trade earlier. You can see after a little slide now for 0.06 yesterday. Market has turned up now with almost 0.20%, which is up. Let's quickly call up our indicators so that we can look at this market with all these indicators on a larger scale to know what is happening. Call up our MACD, call up our money flow, our C line. C line, we don't joke with C line in this class. Especially all those that have been following us, it helps us to know to catch our buy and sell position as trader or investor. Yes, for this morning you can see that look at the market squarely. Yes, we are seeing that market is in the green, but I'll tell you that the money flow is also looking down, and this is serious. Money flow has gone as low as what at 66 no no 66.2 point, which is almost going back to 50. You can see the sharp pullback here, and market is in green, and this is a kind of what we call a divergent. A very divergent. Market is up, money flow is looking down, and also MACD is also looking down. What of war, this is stronger, very divergent, and this earning season, and it's also an election period. Like I said, at the beginning of this week of Monday, expect to see more cautious trading. That's why I said see some movement on Friday. Market was down. On Monday, market was up. On Tuesday, market was down. This one was also market. You need to watch all these trends to guide your investment decision. But to speak market, I'll tell you that the divergent, very divergent already. As we have seen, the MACD is also looking bearish. We have seen money flow confirming that, and why the index or index action is also looking up. This is what to also watch. Let's look at a 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart is telling us on the market generally. On 1 hour chart, I will tell you market is also looking strong. The market is trading above the T line on 1 hour chart, and money flow is also looking up, but that's why that is below 50, and MACD is positive. These are the things we also look at when you are investing. MACD is bullish of what on a 1 hour chart. You can see how you can use your chart to know what to do. The market is very, very strong. On 1 hour chart, you can see on a day chart what the market is doing. While on a weekly chart, market is still very, very strong. On a weekly chart, it tells you that there's something going for the market as to speak. Look at the market chart, I see that the market is still very bullish on the MACD here. I can see that it's still above the T line, and this tells you that market is very, very strong on the weekly and the 1 hour chart. Only on daily, I see that market is still strong, but my other indicators are having a divergent direction with the index action. Like I said, I want to look at some of few stocks this morning. Yes, that are on the gainer chart. You can quickly look at what is happening with the regu. This trend that this rebound we are seeing in the price, is this sustainable? You need to know. That is why we are here. You need to know if it's sustainable so that you know exactly what to do with your position. Yes, on the 1 hour, yes, you can see it's good to look at chart. On the 1 hour chart, I tell you that Regu has moved up to that 24, 24, 44. But I'll tell you on the 1 hour chart, it's out there that it's a kind of fitness profit taking already. That's it here. I see the two bar here, the last two 1 hour. I can see what has happened in this stock. But we quickly look at a day chart, because it's a day position we're looking at. On a day chart, you can see that it has gone as high almost 240 here. You can see this candlestick, you can see up, and you see this kind of signal on a trending stock as very good now. It's kind of weakness already. For those that said it's time for you to take profit, I will tell you. So, and also MACD is still telling that yes, MACD is still bearish, does not turn bullish, and money flow is looking down around what? Around 32. Can see below 50. Even when the price has gone as high as, can see there's also divergence between the indicators and the price action of Equilibrium at this point. You have to also be very careful in this kind of position if you are there as you speak. As investor, these are the things we should watch. Yeah, this for those that is going up. Let's quickly look at the FCMB. What is the trend is building at this time? Look at what is trend FCMB building at this time. We need to look at it. What the trend FCMB is building. On the day chart, you can see that the stock is coming up to T line, despite that it is around 38, 438 to 430. You can see what, but I can see that the 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 T line, is above the what, above the price action. I mean, it's trading below the T line, and also we're seeing that the MACD is still very bullish, bearish, and money flow is still down around looking down around the 30. I'll tell you once we see more, especially once they start releasing their corporate action, company ends actually where they are going, and any uptrend is very very hard. Coming back to 5 naira and surpassing is very very right. Once you see the stock cross the T line up, the time to reach your jump. For those that are income investors that want to accumulate at this time, then it's the right time to accumulate this stock, looking at where it's going and the strength of the number also. Finally, let's look at what is happening in Zenith. It's good to look at what is happening in Zenith at this point. Zenith Bank. Let's look at what is happening in Zenith Bank and see where the stock will go from here. Zenith Bank will be the last we are looking for today. Yes, we look at Zenith Bank chart on the day chart. You can see that it's coming up. You can see the big candle here. Once it crosses the one, it's a sign of what a good buy position. That means for those that are looking for dividend income, they need time to accumulate. For traders, once they go to cross the T line, that means uptrend as better they can also jump in. We've seen a green volume here, but not stay high. Not low, but MACD is very bearish. You can see it here, and but money flow is moving up. It's turning up already. To lead around the 28, 27. But once it cross 50, that's also, and this for what a daily chart. For me, Zenith Bank has potential to even go as high as 58, and also that of FCMB as high as 5 naira, 580. While we are seeing the difficult, training strong resistance at 55 naira. Once it sustained, and we are seeing volume, there is something in for this stuff. Volume, there is something about so volume in Zenith Bank, and these are the first-tier banks that we know that they have strength to pay high dividend, and also second-tier banks are also show strength, especially from Fidelity, from Sterling Bank, and the FCMB, who have seen strength in those. Even the Jais Bank, we expect all these local banking stuff or second-tier bank to also do the same. We can see what happened, result released by Stampy. But we are looking forward to see that of PTI any moment from now, between now and the 1st of March. On this note, I'll say thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your trading day. Bye.